Yeah.
Okay. Wait, no. You're right.
Let's start over.
Now we're live. All right. We're going to have to. Wait, no. You're right. Oh, Jesus. So, hold on, everybody.
Wife is right.
Right.
Oh, no.
Okay. We're going to restart this one more time. I had the whole thing ready to go and, screwed it up. Here we go.
Get out of here, Teddy.
Podcast. Yeah. Podcast.
That might have been on me. A little rusty in here. I was just yelling at her. I'm like, of course we're on. How stupid do you think I am? Of course we're on.
Hi, everybody.
We're not on. Yeah, what's up? How you doing? What happened to my wine?
I drank it.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, we got
For what
it.
reason?
We got a brand new bottle.
Oh, okay.
Brand new bottle.
How's everybody doing?
To see everybody.
Well, I got some notes. I need to block some people when I see their names pop up.
Already?
Oh, yeah.
We've only been on for 30 seconds.
I don't care. Do not care. All right. Got to work on a new intro because the other intro has, who on there, deriving. So, I got to switch that up now. I got to switch all the images, all the pictures. There's a lot to do if we're going to continue doing this.
When we continue doing this.
You're very excited to do this, huh?
I really am.
I don't know why.
We got so many people. It's so great to see everybody in the chat. Like, not a lot of people that were able to join live during the 1 o'clock show. So doing this now, depending on, of course, where you are, 7 p.m. for us. Maybe it's a lot better during this time. See a lot of people watching.
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just not there yet.
What do you mean you're not there?
I'm just not there yet. I might get there soon, but as of right now, I don't know that I'm there just yet.
I think what you needed is this, because a lot of people have been asking where you are, how's your journey, how's your fitness, how's your weight loss, all of that. And I think just seeing everybody, giving you a reminder of how much people love the show and what it means to everybody. You being there and spitting out your orneriness.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
There's a lot of orneriness, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I've been going back and forth. I was thinking about this last night because it was, this whole thing to do it tonight was Denise's idea, if I'm being honest. Like, if it was up to me, I wouldn't just the time isn't right yet. So I was sitting in bed last night and I was thinking to myself, like, how ornery am I going to get?
Yeah.
Should I continue to care about... because when we were trying with all three of us, I was really, really trying and watching some of the stuff that I was saying because I don't want to offend people. I don't want people to, and that came back to bite me because there was a few listeners, not everybody. The majority of our people are absolutely amazing, awesome.
Yeah.
And I like doing the show because of the majority of you. But there's a couple of people that are just stuck in this adult childhood mentality of 2008 when we used to do the show, the Playhouse.
The Playhouse, yeah. Well,
and what they did, what they managed to do was completely ruin our last full show that we did with Deriving.
Oh, Deriving.
Yeah.
Oh my God, PK. I think at some point you're going to grow with age and maturity, and you're going to get over it.
No, I think I'm going the other way.
All right.
So what I determined was...
Oh my God, we already got donations coming in. We're not even doing... I love donations. We weren't even asking today. Yeah.
What I determined is that going forward, I'm not going to care.
Okay.
Right? I see those certain people pop up, and I've got a lot of stuff going, so I might miss them the first time. But I see them pop up, the show will halt, and we will pause while I ban them.
You should do I'm
just not going to care. If
you
people
should do like a little sounder. Like the whammy. That's what we've been
I've got to build all that.
That's the last night what we were watching, whammy. Like the crazy thing. Like when you hit, it just says, and then the person's gone, like poof.
So a few rules going forward here on the show.
Got it.
Few rules.
Let's
and
do
I'm
it.
going to, Kevin, remind me to go back to Kevin.
Got my notepad.
Yeah, we're going to hit the bong gong dong for Kevin?
No, the bong dong gong is a retired...
It's right behind you.
It is retired. It is a retired piece of business
it's right there.
At the moment.
In case you guys are wondering why I don't have Denise where she usually sits is because I have to also, get something up on that screen now. And that image of all three of us has burnt into that screen, so I don't even know if I can use that screen anymore.
PK. This is honest PK is what you guys are getting right now. Shout out to all 81 currently watching. I did ask for everybody to drop their city so we can do a proper roll call of everybody who took the time out of their day to join us tonight. Because again, I popped it up last minute, like a few hours ago. last night I was like, hey, in our Discord, we might be doing this, might not, depending on PK's attitude. And then
PK's
tonight,
got a great attitude.
all of you guys, and now more are joining us live. So
I'm just establishing some rules going forward into whatever the show ends up being now.
All right.
All right. I'm establishing some rules with everybody. And those rules are I'm going to speak from the heart, even if it pisses off like half of our listening audience or viewers or whatever.
Okay.
You know, I need to get out of my mind this stupid training that was put in during our time in Atlanta. Right. So this is my promise. I'm always going to talk from the heart from now on. That does not mean that my opinions will not change as the shows, because I'm a human being and opinions will change. Evolve, change, grow.
Yeah.
Right. And we do not have to agree on everything. So if you're not all right with that, if you need like some just a group of sheep around you that it's only your views, this is not going to be the show for you. From now on, you're going to get an honest PK and moving forward.
Are you going to make me cry?
Probably.
Like, are you going to be angry, PK? Because I don't know if I like that.
No,
PK.
I'm not angry.
I
am just
past that a little bit.
You know what? I did everything I could, and it turned around and it bit me in the behind. And I'm just.
You mean the ass? You can say that.
Yeah, on the ass. Mm-hmm. And just going forward, I'm just not going to have any regrets about anything. And here we are.
Okay.
All right. You want to do this roll call?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Can we still do a chant,
or
is it not allowed
if you want to do the roll call, then you got to say, what do we do a roll call?
Oh, okay, got it.
There's only two of us now. Chants are not going to work.
Oh, got it.
Why do we do a roll call? Because the people must be heard.
Up in the chat, we got Justin checking in from Oakwood, Georgia.
What's up, Justin?
The Auto Tech Nerd is joined. We got Fireball Carol in Salem in the house. Maybe not Fireball on a Wednesday. Maybe so, if possible. No judgment. Doesn't matter to me. I had
wine that Denise drank right before the show started.
We're after the roll call, we'll pop open this wine for Wine Wednesday and fill you in what that means if you're brand new to our Wine Wednesday, because that's been like a lot of years. I see Charlie.
I don't even know what Wine Wednesday is.
Saying, hey, I got Rico checking in. Karina's in Flowery Branch. Brittany Cook, brand new name in Tavernier, Florida.
What's up?
I see Don G, Gold Beach, Oregon. The Mongonzo, that's Fit Trucker Life. Modesto, I haven't seen you in the chat for a long time. Obviously, it's been 33 days, not that. I've been counting, but even prior to that. Stuck in traffic on the 45, almost home. Julie Bilberry, Dallas, Georgia. We got Rodrigo in 559. I got so many people. I see Visalia, Forsyth, Orlando is Trisha. I mean, who do you see, PK? Help me out. My poor voice is going away already. Steven in Atlanta, Six Tat. We got
back
Spokane.
That's good.
Yeah, I was like, we see all night. Like, it continues to grow. Far Too Saucy. That's a brand new name. Shut up.
Okay.
Shout out, not shut up. But yeah.
Thought you came at me real. I was actually impressed with that shut up, if I'm being honest. I was like, oh, she's on her A game.
The numbers of people watching. And then there is Elia somewhere in there.
Oh, the hater.
Producer E.
Yeah, what's up, son?
Is up in the chat. Don't forget, Urel is in Pasa.
Get down! DC, it's not going to work. Chants are not going to work.
We're going to work on it, guys.
Respect to Kevin Halterman with a $20 donation. Thank you, sir. Let's go! Fit PK and DK. We miss you.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. That really Majerno is getting at your boy. It's doing its business.
Yeah.
Not going to be able to afford the Majerno here coming up in a couple of months, but for right now. I've got these man boobies down.
Okay, here's the thing. So, like, I bought PK that shirt that he's wearing a few months ago, and then PK put it on. He looked like a sausage in a casing.
No, this is the old one, isn't it?
No.
Is it?
No, that's the brand new
one.
one.
I think it's the old one.
No, is it?
She bought me two of them, and I looked at her, and I'm like, what are you doing buying Lululemons like we have jobs? Lululemon is not. It's for the rich.
Well,
you know, if my last name isn't Kardashian, that's just not. It's ridiculous. Like their shirts are like $80.
We may or may not have a discount. Don't worry about it. But there's a good
she bought me these two shirts, right? And I'm like, what are you doing? But I really do like their shirts, So I put it on, and it was a sausage casing. You could see, it looked like valleys, and it was like Texas Hill Country. It was like the North Georgia mountains.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was embarrassing. I was like, PK, don't wear that even to bed.
But here we go. The Majerno has been working out. Yeah. Wait, 509 Kyle, a little donation. What's up, podcast family? What's up, 509 Kyle? How you doing, sir? Roy Patterson, is that a new name?
Founder Roy.
Oh, Founder Roy.
Yeah.
I have no idea who that is.
He was one of the founding family members, and also asked one of our first questions that we'll get to in a little bit.
Yeah, explain this to me.
Or we can do it now.
You put it up on Discord that you were going to ask some questions to handle on the show.
So in Discord and on our Instagram at PK and DK, I said, any questions you guys have been wondering about, like the last few weeks that we've all been away, like put them in and PK and I will answer a few of them like at random. Some of them PK might not want to answer yet, but some of them we will.
I'll answer. I'm gonna try to calm down.
Yeah.
Had to get that stuff out of out of the way, but I'm calming down.
All right, so let's get to Wine Wednesday. What that is?
I don't know what that is. You keep saying that
It is a former podcast that you and I started. Obviously,
I know that. I don't know what.
The reason why we started it is because it was on Wednesdays, and then everybody could join us around like this time and drink wine if you want to. If not, no big deal. You can have sparkling water, whatever. You don't have to have wine. But like in my head, I created it like I would go to like the local grocery store and find out whatever would be like a good price. Send in a picture of the chat. You guys can get that one or whatever and just join us, drink wine, hang out, have fun.
So what's the story behind this wine that you got now?
So this one is from Whole Foods. Mm-hmm. It was $9.99 and it had the sticker on it that said 90 points. And I was like,
we got on budget, although after tonight's show, we can get 3 more bottles so far.
But I was like, it looks fancy. It says Chateau des Piques. Côtes de Bordeaux. I mean, that's all like fancy French writing. And again, 90 points. So I should have got a decanter or something, but I didn't. Can I have your glass?
That's why I was always like, Wine Wednesday is not a real thing.
No, it's a it's a made up holiday for me every Wednesday.
Yeah.
No shit.
Okay. You're on that now. See, this is going to be interesting going forward on the show as well, because we had to kind of keep it together because there was another person in the room. So, we didn't want to get into couples arguments and fights. If you go back through the history of our show, like before Atlanta, when we started doing it in Houston, there's some pretty epic couples fights.
Yeah, so
if I had to guess, they're coming.
So, and again, for you guys who aren't familiar, we started like our Wednesday night podcast. Both PK and I had like different jobs. We did not work together at that time. And then we just wanted to come together with our community once again and like bring our radio.
Oh, lies.
That's so true.
No.
That's exactly why we did.
I hated my job in Houston.
Oh.
I thought I couldn't do anything because the other people on the show would just say something and ruin whatever greatness we were trying to do.
Oh, okay.
Like that one time we were interviewing, I think it was Joey Coy, and the person, or whatever his name is, and the person next to me started asking for donations. And I'm like,
kind of awkward.
Yeah, not the right time to do. Yeah, anyway, I hated my job.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we can do stuff a lot better from the house. That's why we started Wine Wednesday.
Yeah, there you go.
You know that truth's coming at you now.
See, now PK knows the truth. And so PK and I did it for several years. He continued his job in radio, and I continued my job at the hotel. And then we got a job offer in Atlanta, and that is exactly why we moved to Atlanta for 6 years.
All right, here we go. Do I block? I see the first name that I needed to block.
Oh.
So what do I do? Do I block them?
Not until they say something.
Do I ban them? Do I block them?
I mean, are they saying something negative?
I don't think so.
Well,
but they've already said negative stuff that they should have known not to say.
I think like this today we're turning over a new leaf. So moving forward, if there's something negative, then you can ban them. But for right now, like we're all good. Okay, even though everybody say who's getting bad, call them out. Warning first, then block.
What do you guys think? I need the poll man in here to put a poll up.
Yeah.
Do I just immediately fire from the hits and just start blocking fools? Because one person is already gone.
You already blocked somebody?
Well, if anybody sees Jessica Hater in here, y'all let me know because that motherfucker is gone.
Okay.
I don't want to see him in our Discord. I can care less. I don't want him to be in the YouTube Live. That dude is out of here. And let me explain myself, too, so everybody understands like where my frustration is coming from. When Durine decided to tell us to drop it on us, and you go back and watch the show, and you can see the comments. I think they're there.
That was from September 8th.
All right, September 8th, when he said that he's going back. I've never been mad at him going back because he has such a huge family, and his kid is 13, and he's got cousins, and all the other stuff. So no problems there. But this idiot, and I didn't catch on it because of all the different emotions and everything that was happening. Knowing in my head that was probably going to be the last show we were ever going to do, all three of us. Mm-hmm. Something that I really worked toward. Ask comments about the way that we treat Durine. We never treated Durine badly. Ever. He was always in on the joke. He always made fun of us. We made fun of him. It was a loving family kind of ambiance, and 99% of the people knew that, except 2 that I saw just going back and forth and hammering to no end. Now, Jessica Hater has some serious women-hating issues. Just so everybody knows, I still somewhere in here have his instant voice note that he left ranting on women.
Oh, okay.
Right, which I never played because I didn't want people to think badly of him, and some of his instant voice notes he was leaving were entertaining. So I'm like, well, this dude obviously has issues. I'm not going to feed on those issues. but we'll just treat them nicely, right? Until that final show, just seeing those comments back and forth, and it was him and it was one other person that's in the chat right now, and you know who you are. So this other person, I will give him a chance. I will give him a chance because I don't have a problem with people disagreeing with things that I say,
right.
Or like, what I do have a problem with is people that keep hammering something and trying to make a point out of something that, and especially if you've been with us since the Playhouse days, you should fucking know that we never treated Ryan badly.
Oh,
ever.
No, yeah.
I was paying Ryan out of my 401k, right? Never treated him badly.
Yeah. You're
gonna have to. Speak some truth if we're gonna do this.
I understand. It wasn't until
I gotta get Dennis out of you.
It wasn't until like I saw messages, and it was like with our community because like I'm so protective. Like you guys are here, like for us, and we're all like a family. So when somebody is not, someone's irritating like PK or myself, like I have grown to like move past it. But when it's like attacking other people or making points and making others like uncomfortable, like that's where I draw the line.
No, I draw the line.
That's me. You can say whatever you want. That's me.
I don't have a problem with people, again, disagreeing with me, thinking that we should have done this or didn't do that or whatever. Maybe this is why the show didn't work. Criticism, all that stuff I'm fine with. What I do have a problem with is, these people that were going on and on and on about these comments that when we were watching the replay, I just kept seeing for the whole fucking hour pop up. Yeah. These people should know the love that we all three, like if you can't pick up on that, if you cannot pick up on that, then what are you doing watching the show? Why are you even in the chat? You're just there just to be a dick.
Just to be a troll.
Just to be a dick.
Troll, yeah.
Not even a troll, just an ignorant ass munch.
We got ass munch. Yeah, okay.
I was thinking some other stuff, but,
Dave, by the way, Mysterious Dave behind the scenes, you guys don't know, has been checking in with like PK. I don't know how often, but when PK doesn't respond, and PK has not responded to like anybody, but Mysterious Dave, I want to give some love to, like sends me a message. Y'all okay over there? Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't. And just to be honest with everybody, it hasn't. I put every single ounce of everything that I put everything into doing the show with us three because I believe that was such a great show, right?
Of course,
with the chemistry, and it's everything that radio didn't understand. It's like all these things. Now, obviously, maybe the delivery was wrong. There's 1,000 things, and I'm fine with all that criticism. What I'm not fine with is people saying that we were treating him like shit, which is basically what they were saying, because it's clear that we weren't.
Yeah.
And I know you have some questions, so I don't want to keep talking about this because it's probably going to be some of the questions that people have asked in our Discord. By the way, join our Discord online at pkanddk.com. You'll see the Discord link if you want to join it. That's where you can throw in questions. And we're going to be doing a lot of stuff that isn't going to be on the Wednesday night show for the people that kept their subscriptions, because I do want to say thank you to the people that are the reason we still have a website.
Yeah.
And the reason I can just hit the live button and still go on is because of you guys that kept your subscriptions. So thank you for doing that. So I want to give you, I don't know what we're going to do. I think we're going to do like a couple shows a week that's just for subscribers and maybe just Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Or it might evolve into other things. I don't know yet.
Again, that's still the beginning, because like we have like a lot of updates that have happened in like the last few weeks. So I want to make sure like we get that out there. And all of you guys, like I know like the world is crazy, and like there's a lot going on, like, and that I see through our Discord, that I see through private messages. And, I personally just needed to, I needed it for my soul to like get on and talk to you guys and interact and everything. Like the world is insane right now. Like we all know that. Like we're not going to get into any politics right now on the show, but
Why not?
I mean, we can, but we have like a lot of other things that we're going to cover.
I'm getting into everything from now on.
Okay, well,
like I said at the very beginning, those are my rules: is to be as honest as possible with you guys. And it does not mean that I'm correct. Does not mean that I'm. We can always debate something in a civil manner, and who knows? With Ilya, like I'll get into screaming matches with him, thinking that he's nuts. And I even told you, the other day, I was like, he was right about this argument that we had like 6 months ago. As humans, we evolve, and then that's those new rules for the show, like Dua Lipa sings, and please believe,
oh God,
we were banging Dua Lipa, dancing at 3 a.m. Yes, we got a noise complaint.
Oh my God,
gotta love our neighbor to death.
I am so sorry, neighbor. You know exactly who you are. 3 a.m. Are you almost done? I'm like, ugh. I could not face her for like a few days.
Let's get to some of these questions, because I do want to address a few things that I'm sure people have asked about. Go.
Founder Roy, first question. PK, when are you coming back to Discord?
That's a good point. Oh, you know what?
I've been in there. I mean, a lot more often.
I know. I haven't been able to think about the show because every time I think about it, I just get sad, if I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to separate myself from everything, and that's why I haven't been doing shows. That's why I haven't been going to Discord. In fact, if you go back, the next day after our final show, I was in Discord, and then things started to slowly hit me, and then I just try to distance myself, and then I knew that I'd have to replace images and all that stuff, and maybe I didn't have to do it, but it's just like whenever I see him, I still love the guy.
Of course.
So when I see him, I just get sad, so I do have to replace the stuff because of that.
Yeah. Well.
So I will come back to Discord tomorrow. I think I did need this to just kick me in the ass to do this again.
All right, moving on. Second question. NR Gaspar 22. Nancy, has Dorian reached out to PK since he's left?
I made a prediction. There's two things that I've always... By the way, I don't know these questions. I did not look at them ahead of time. She has not told me these questions. She just said that she put it in Discord, and she got some great questions. So I'm answering these for the first time. Two things that, again, everybody in our chat that has, grown with us knows, the first thing is I've always said I don't want to, because of the issues that I've had with Ivan and some other people, I never wanted to, when this ends, I didn't want to be mad at Dorian. I don't want to not talk to Dorian.
Of course, yeah.
I do still love the guy. Have I talked to him? I haven't. And it sucks.
But you guys did
that's the second thing, which I predicted. And again, you guys have heard me say from months ago, if not a year ago or whatever. If there's anything about the show, is that we're as honest as can be. And I said that when this ends, I will never hear from him again.
However, the show ended Friday. He did come over Monday.
He had to because I needed to get him to sign some tax forms.
Yeah. And then we had moving boxes and
then
supplies.
We were supposed to do a dinner on the 23rd, 2 weeks, and I said, let's touch base.
Yeah.
Right? And
unfortunately, we didn't hear.
Y'all heard from him.
Yeah.
I haven't. I know he dropped into Discord.
I was like, you guys heard.
There's been zero text, zero nothing.
You guys heard in Discord the same time I heard, and I had sent other messages because of course I don't include PK because he'll, I don't know, PK needs his own time. I need my own things to have my own closure when it comes to whatever. So I still sent text and and all of that. And the time that I heard from him was when he had already boarded the airplane and was in Vegas for his layover to go to Portland.
You didn't hear from him?
No, that was the only. Yeah,
that was Discord. That's not hearing from him.
I got a text.
Oh, you did?
I did get a text, but I sent the text. But yeah.
Oh, you sent them?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's the Ivan syndrome.
Well,
I'm not saying that to be a dick. I'm just being honest.
I know, but
this is what bugs me the absolute most.
And that's why I didn't include you on the messages because I need I understand you and your personal things, and you have your things with Ivan, you have your things with your family, your parents, your mom, your stepmom, all of that. But I too, Dorian is a brother to me. Ivan was a brother to me. Ivan lived with us for the first 7 years of our marriage. Dorian has been with us and lived with us for a little while, and we'd seen each other every single day. So he's family. And so and I get his situation and moving, and I did all of the things. I just know, his personality, as soon as he leaves here, it breaks my heart. But I'm oh man, I don't know if I'm ever gonna see him again. And
that's what it is. We're never gonna see him again. We're never gonna see him again.
Don't say that.
We won't. The only way we're gonna hear from him is if he gets word, from a cousin or something that listens to the show, and he's reach out or whatever, and then or we're gonna hear from his wife if he has another medical. Remember, after the Playhouse, and we did all that stuff. I never heard from him. I just heard from his wife. Or anytime I would hear from him, I would have to reach out.
But
now here's what you have some other questions, and then I'll tell you what I am frustrated at.
I mean,
go ahead.
Other questions pertaining that.
No, what other questions were people asking?
Mary Watts, have you decided where you're going to live and what your plans for the future are?
I'm still working. We're still working. I guess we're going to live here, right?
We're going to live here, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to stay in Houston.
Yeah.
I have a job that I was hired for. I don't want to say exactly where it is, but because it doesn't start till November 13th. But I signed my offer letter for a new job, and I know PK has been really sad, but happy at the same time for me.
She got mad at me.
So,
you're not happy for me. I'm I can be happy and sad at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not a binary thing. You can be both things at the same time. I'm extremely happy for you, but I'm very sad. You know how clingy I am. Everybody knows how clingy I am. I loved working with you and seeing you every single day, and I love, going for something that I truly in my heart believe was amazing.
Of course.
And trying to make it work. And when it didn't work, of course I'm going to be sad.
I know. And that's been I think the hardest part of everything to process. And not only that, but you guys know, I've been working at the fitness studio. I've been picking up a lot of shifts there. And so that was honestly, that was really hard too. Letting them know that, hey, I love it and I want to work and continue. But this job opportunity, I got a message, come to this job fair. And I was like, job fair? I'm like, I have A, not done a resume in 10 years, B, not worn any of these dresses. I have maybe 5 of them left from my hotel days. There's no way. So I got up and I made a resume, went to this job fair, had 3 interviews, got offered a job, basically on the spot, offer letter on Friday. And it's something that I absolutely love to do, in addition to the show that we can still continue on a few times a week or the Wednesday night. But this isn't going to be another full-time gig for me. That's going to give us great health benefits, great insurance, great 401k, ability to stay here, not have to worry about how we're going to pay for a light bill or the power, the water, rent, or any of that. It's going to give us some substantial, you know what I'm talking about. I'm tearing up.
I'm back, baby. I'm back.
Anyway.
I was just waiting to do that.
Anyway.
I'm how pissed is she going to be? When do I hit the button? How mad is she going to get?
I am very excited. Now my hair looks like crap for this opportunity, in addition to what we're going to continue, but something that I can personally do and say hey, I am contributing to this marriage. I'm contributing. Yes, we've talked jokingly about a family in the future and all of that, and this with the proper.
What did you say the other day? You didn't want me to give you a baby because of why?
Because I don't have a significant paycheck. I don't know. What did I say?
Something else. What did you say?
Where you need to practice? I don't know.
No. You need to start writing this stuff down.
Well, we've kind of been in a funk the last 30 some days.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. My thoughts on this going forward is I don't know yet, right? Because I still need to find a job, and Tony's helping me with that. On the last show, Tony was like, "I'll train you to do what I do," and I thought he was kidding. Right?
Yeah. So that's PK. Now it turned. Thank you everybody for the congratulations. Appreciate that.
No, that goes without saying. That's I told her too. It was. Let me go back to the day she went to the job fair. I'm like, you walk into this. This job is done.
Yeah.
You know these people. This job is done.
And I didn't think.
And she was like, "No, I don't know if I want to go. I don't know."
I was so nervous that I started tearing up, and I was like, "What is wrong with me?" It follows in my passion. Again, continuing to do what we all do, but continuing to work events and manage events and corporate things, and I love that, and I love working with people, and I love seeing people and making their dreams come true, and bringing their dreams to whatever the word is, fruition. What is that? What to real life? Oh my God, I hate you. I hate that, bitch. No, Trisha, it's not at Zaza, but
so anyway,
they definitely did want me, but it's not there.
Next week. So I don't know if we're gonna have a Wednesday show next week.
No, because PK, what are you doing? Where'd that shirt go?
So Tony talked to some bosses and stuff, and your boy is getting on a plane.
Yeah.
And
yay! PK's training.
Your boy's gonna go train.
Yeah.
I don't know how real, because it's still. I'm very, very excited. I'm not gonna lie. I will say this. One of the hardest things about all of this too is. I've always what son doesn't want to prove his father wrong?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Is that what it is going on?
What son?
Daddy issues.
Definitely, daddy abandonment issues. I've got it all. But my dad always has said that everybody, all your friends will let you down at some point. They will all let you down. And I was like, no, you're crazy, blah, 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 blah. And then the Ivan thing happened, then the other stuff happened, and then Ryan happened. I'm like, Jesus, I hate it when you're right? But Tony has been the one constant that Tony has flown out here, and I've said all this on our last show, but he went out of his way. He did different flights and all this stuff just to come help the show, and now he's going out of his way to help me possibly get into what he's doing. And what he's doing for me ticks all the boxes because it's creative, it's different, it's not in a cubicle, and like my ADD kicks in and stuff. It's stuff that I'm familiar with like video and all that stuff. So if it works, I'm extremely excited, and I hope it works out.
Yeah. So again, PK's getting on a plane Tuesday, and it was really sweet because Tony, he matched up like a flight from Houston, which would be similar to the one that he's going to be on. So PK and Tony land around the same time, and they're going to. Are you sharing hotel rooms? Like, you didn't tell me.
Yeah.
Share hotel room.
Well,
All right.
I asked him. I was like, I can get a hotel room, and he was like, "Don't worry about it. It's not you that spilled the wine." And I was like,
oh God! I'm still wearing those slippers. I'm still wearing the slippers from Tony's hotel room in
Let me
Miami.
back up.
Oh, that sounds weird.
If that works out, and Denise savings on what we did.
Yeah. Right.
What we continue to do. So if that works out and Denise's stuff works out and we can pay the bills, then also we can concentrate on this, and this will become fun again. Because right now, like, I don't want to, be this way, but it's hard. It's hard with like all these stresses and stuff to come on here and crack jokes. But if it works out, then yeah, we can really concentrate on doing shows, whether it's a couple times a week, 3 times. Who the F knows? I've always wanted to do like a late night show. That's always been a dream. Maybe we'll just start doing like a 10 o'clock show.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
again,
fingers crossed. Let's see what happens.
And to everyone that is continuing, I got another, you guys, we're not asking for donations on today's show, by the way, just like.
I am.
Okay. Trisha Webster, miss you guys both. So another lovely donation. Want to shout out there.
Let me go back to Dave, who says, boss level Denise, I'll send.
What PJ?
Who the F is PJ?
Perry Asia Way.
Oh.
Hey.
Some dude named PJ.
Oh my God. Okay.
PJ don't have a job. We'll move up to PJ. To celebrate for the next Wine Wednesday, hell yeah, I'll send PK some grape juice. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. So again, PK leaves Tuesday, meet up with Tony, and then what? Like Tuesday, you guys just have a dinner Tuesday
I don't know
night?
yet.
And then there's Wednesday.
I don't know how much I'm supposed to talk about, so I'm just giving you a little bit of an update. And I also don't want to jinx it because every time I talk about something, it gets jinxed.
I'm just saying like that was the reason people are like, why are you guys on tonight? Like there's like baseball games going on. I'm like, well, this is our only like Wine Wednesday night because next week PK's out of town.
Who's winning?
And then Thursday you'll be out for Thursday Night Football. Friday.
Well, before we do all that, let's go back to the question. Let's finish up the questions.
We got from Toaster D. Have you been keeping up with the new Ivans, and do they make you smile and laugh? Can we hope for more frequent pop-ins?
I have been. No. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's honest.
I've saved every single instant voice note that came in, but I haven't been able to listen to them because, again, I've been trying to take myself away from the show just to kind of separate and see and kind of. I mean, for a couple of days, we went to, these things called getaway view. What is it called? Getaway?
Like it's a getaway house. It's like a tiny cabin.
They're like $100, right? And actually, they have them in Portland, so you all should look them up. Yeah. And then they're up and down the East Coast, and there's a few in Texas.
And again, it's like an hour 40 minutes away. We took Teddy, we went there, and just like no anything except for like what we read books. We didn't even drink or anything.
They don't have TVs. They don't. It's not like in a town. You're in the middle of the woods. It's a giant window, and you're looking. I think we've showed you pictures of it. You can look them up as well. But it's cheap, especially in our situation. That's a plus. And no TVs, no radio, no nothing. So we went for a couple days just to try to unplug, reading like motivational books, just trying to figure out what's next for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Going back to your instant voice note, I mean, I've saved every single one of them for the day that I'm ready to listen to them, and I'm getting closer to that day. So if you've sent something in, thank you. I appreciate it, and I will listen to it. It's on my hard drive. What else?
And then we got, let's see, Tiff, how is the shot going for PK, and how much has PK lost? And is exercising now easier that you lost weight?
We don't have it up on the wheel anymore, do we?
Oh,
the original weight was, 274, I think was my highest. I'm at, I've kind of stalled out like around 250. I'm at 247.
Yeah.
Your scale fucked up.
What do you mean?
Yo, we got to get a better scale.
Prime Day,
I stepped on it, and it said 244, and I'm like, I'm butt naked. I'm swinging it around.
Ew.
I'm excited. 244, that's like.
Swinging the belly? Yeah.
No.
Sure. Okay.
So, anyway, I had like this whole celebration thing, and I'm like, there's no way. And I stepped back on the scale, and then went up to 248. I'm like, what the F? What kind of scale was this? How much was the scale like?
It was like $19. I told you I got it like 8 years ago or something. I mean,
Can I even trust it?
Why not? Yeah, I think so.
So anyway, 247.
Well,
so the shot's going good. It's an expensive shot, though.
Yeah, well, and that is another bonus benefit of me getting this job within, once I start, then 30 days afterwards, health insurance kicks in, and it is really good insurance, is what I'm hearing. Really,
Worst scale
really good.
ever, Jeffrey.
What?
Our buddy Jeff is.
Oh my God!
By the way,
no offense.
Side story. And we're gonna get back to these questions.
I was like, we call you. I don't know what else to call you, but we still call you CNN Jeff because you used to work for.
Probably
CNN.
doesn't like that. I don't know. Maybe he does.
What new nickname? Bootleg meteorologist should we call you?
You can't give yourself a nickname.
Well,
it'll come.
Okay.
But Denise, side story, and then we'll finish up with the questions. Denise took me to the. I don't want to say the worst show ever. It was okay.
Joe Bros. Again for the 8th time?
Here's the problem with the Jonas Brothers for me, right? I've already seen them, like she just said.
8 times. Yeah.
6, 7 times, right? Mm-hmm. So I've seen the whole set multiple times. And then this time she had tickets behind them. So now.
You guys remember when I told you guys on the show, and I was like, I got tickets. I was so pumped. They were cheap.
I can't even see like the lasers and the pyrotechnics. I'm just looking at their asses.
Yeah.
They've got nice butts. I don't have a problem with that. But it's like, every once in a while, fellas, turn the F around.
They did a few times.
Dude, very rarely. Like, you do a song, and then you know how the stages are like separated? You know, because you got the main stage, and then like every show has it now, the far stage for the people in the back. Well, we're behind the main stage. So when they go to that stage,
we don't see it at all.
Fuck.
Yeah.
We're out. What's Honeybee? Oh, what's up, Honeybee?
Oh, how you doing, little baby?
So happy for you guys. Congratulations to you.
I know, to you. We got your card too from the. Oh yeah.
She subscribed to Plus on Spotify. Thank you. I just saw that too. After realizing that my Apple subscription ended. By the way, you look great, PK. Thank you, Honeybee. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. What was I gonna say? So I was talking to Jeff like during the show because I've already seen it 7 times. So I'm sitting there texting him.
Yeah.
And looking over to Denise, and she was like, "Are you dancing?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Like, are you singing?
And then I'm texting him just to try to get my focus to do. You know what I mean? Like. I thought you were going to be mad at me. And then I had, I was just drinking as much vodka as possible.
Yeah, so what happened? So like
towards the end, I started dancing and feeling them again. I'm like, oh, I've never seen the show.
Yeah, because like at one point, PK like leaves, and then this lady comes, and I was like, who the hell is she? I'm like, excuse me, ma'am.
I still got it.
And she's like, oh, this drink's for you. And I was like, oh, I love you. But
come on.
But you had like first out of class service or something. Like you had your drink and she physically.
It's a Jonas Brothers show. There's nobody at the bar.
Oh.
They were just standing there.
Oh.
And I'm like, hey, I need to get like, how many shots can I get in my vodka? And she was like, 2, sir. I'm like, thank you. I got to get my wife a drink. And she was like, well, you can't take it up there. It's like, oh, well, can I just get that double vodka and I'll come back? And she was like, I'll walk it with you.
Oh, okay. That's what happened. Okay. So, and prior to that, we were partying. We went to, was it White Oak area? Nobody knows what that is. We're watching a baseball game. We had our jerseys on, whatever. We're having fun. And then I was like, oh my God, PK, it's time. Like, I got to go physically shower. I need to put on a new outfit, new hair, new makeup, need to do all that for Jonas Brothers show. By the time we got ready and went there, we literally walked in as soon as they started singing, celebrate. And I was like, oh my God, right as they picked up the mics, we walked in because our seats were so behind the stage that we just were dead center behind.
How about the guy?
Right at the time.
I need to pull the audio. We had... I mean, there's so many stories that happened. How long have we not been doing the show?
33 days, if anyone's counting.
If anybody has advice, you have to utilize our instant voice note. Send us an email, hello@pkndk.com. Get a hold of us. And I'll play this audio on the next show, or maybe we'll do a subscriber-only show just to play the whole thing out, right? But on the way there, this dude was here, pretty sure legally from Afghanistan. I don't know. But he worked for this guy that had like a truck, like an 18-wheeler, right? So he worked for him for 1 month, and then he would ride with the owner of the truck, like to California. They're moving stuff. He's working, right? When it was payday, the person that owns the truck just stopped answering his calls.
Yeah.
There's
zero contact.
Zero contact.
Yeah.
So then this poor guy's like, I called the cops, like, I don't know what to do. Like, I worked for a month.
And he found him.
Never got paid.
He found him like through a friend or something, like it was a referral. And then that friend was like, well, I don't know. That was your problem that you worked for somebody and didn't get. I don't know. It sounded really.
You got to hear the audio, and I'll bring it up just so you can hear, because I asked all the questions. I was like on the Business Bureau. I couldn't find the company name that he worked for.
No, because it was non-existent. It was a fake company.
I don't think so. I think the guy just scammed this poor dude. And this poor guy, who was very, very nice, I bet you was just like honor system, drove with him, did all this stuff. And on payday, the guy's like just,
Yeah, bounced.
He was like, I'm not going to pay
you.
you.
Yeah, you have to play the audio. Because like I wasn't listening to it at first because I thought that, it just was off at first. But then like you could like hear it and see it, like his emotions.
What does that say? Fireball, and Jonas asses.
Oh my goodness, Jeff with the donation.
Can I get a Fireball or some wine or something? Let's
oh my
turn
God.
this up.
All right, y'all. I'll be honest. I don't have any like liquor in the house except for maybe some rum from when we didn't drink it. But like, I don't have Fireball unless we open up. Unless we open up Jeff's cane. So we remember.
Hold on, let me block this. Who the hell is this dude?
Oh, it's a spam thingy.
Yeah.
But we got him like last 2 trips ago when Jeff came to visit us, a cane, like a candy cane, a Fireball, but it was like, I don't know, it was like 20 shots in it or something. So I told him, I was like, I might have to pop that open. Like, we got no more alcohol in the house.
What other questions do you have?
Kirsten, what is your favorite wine? Give me a white wine. Chateau Saint Michel. It's a Sauvignon Blanc. It's usually the $15 price mark, but at like Kroger, Fred Meyer. It's a really good one. Another one is if you like Sauvignon Blanc, Kim Crawford's always good. Or I really like rosé. I know it's not white.
Her favorite's that butter wine. We
Um,
had a sponsorship in Atlanta. That shit was nasty. That was awful.
God, I had to make it so cold, like put it in the freezer.
Oh.
And then but like a rosé, like Summer Water's good. Or there's one that's called like the Palm or Whispering Angel are my favorites.
Oh, that's so nice. Jeff is like, I love you all for being here for them.
Aw.
That's very nice.
Wait, why was the message deleted?
Oh, that's, oh, no, I don't know.
Oh, no, I didn't know. He's
like Jeff in
timed
timeout. I got to find out why that does that.
What did you do?
Yeah, this stupid system on YouTube puts the wrong people in timeout.
I think because he uses he uses caps.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because during our final show, the people needed to be on timeout never got on timeout.
Jeff is very animated and loves to use caps and stuff.
That's my boy.
That's what's going on.
That's my boy.
PK, do you remember the sexual chocolate wine?
Yeah, that was freaking amazing.
See, that's what we found out on Wine Wednesday. I can't. It was a Grenache.
No, I got it again, and the second time it didn't taste that good. I'm like, what the hell? Was I that drunk on that show that it tasted awesome? And then I got it again. I was like, oh, this is disgusting. I don't know. So the jury's out on that one.
Dave says to give him a wrench. So I think that means if Dave is.
How do I give him a wrench?
How do you do that? I don't know. And then he'll be able to help. Leah also joining us.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that yet, so I'll have to,
He's still here. Hey,
I'll have to figure that out. Well, any other questions? We're good?
We're good at the moment. Yep.
Let me explain to everybody and I'm not gonna do this. I don't want to always go back to this, right? We have to move forward. And if the dude starts, texting and hitting us up or whatever, then I will always, like I said before on the show, I will always love the guy, right? But this is what it's hard for me, and what really did make me sad about everything that went down is the fact of how the news was delivered. And I told him this, so this is not a secret. Like I told him the last time I saw him, one of the last conversations we had, it was like, you knew for a couple of months, I don't know how long, but you knew that you were going to go back. And then you just waited to just drop it on the air like 2 weeks before you moved. And then that was it. Now, the fact that was it could definitely be put on me because I'm like, well, this is going to be the last show. We're done ski. Right?
We still could have continued for a few, like 10 more days or whatnot.
Yeah. What I told him was, and I stick to, was like, I'm not annoyed. I'm not mad that you decided to go back. In fact, if you would have had that conversation with me at the beginning of the year, I would have agreed with you. And I maybe would have moved there to continuing doing this show because honestly, I put every single thing that I have into this show, right? But you didn't give me that chance. You never talked to me. You never had that honest conversation. We never went out to lunch and you could be like, look, my son's 13. He's about to, go into high school in like a year or two. It's going to be difficult to move then. Like, this isn't working. Like, all those things that would have. My problem is that he knew. He never fucking said anything. And then he dropped it on us 2 weeks before. And then he was out.
Right.
It wasn't like, well, fuck the studio. Like, I know you spent every single dime on cameras and my desk and all this stuff, but he was just gone.
And again, going back to what you just said, is that you also, like, when you take news like that, PK, you straight up are like, all right, that's it. This is the end of the show. This is what need to happen. Instead of actually, like, trying to, like, pause for a second and be like, well, he still has, like, 10 more days until he leaves. Even though at that point, like, if you're moving across the country, like, you got to take time to pack and do all this. So I understand. But I guess that was like the hardest part because then I was like, well.
To me, the hardest part is you took the opportunity off the table by not even, or just not I mean, it's just been us three against the world. But you have the conversation of like, dude, I don't like. My thing was like, I always had those conversations on the air, right? How many times did I say I don't know if we can continue doing the show?
Okay, true.
Those weren't. That wasn't like a joke. Now, like I was being as honest as possible. He should have done that. Even on the air, I would have been fine. But you don't. For how long did he know?
I think since I think they said since July, like when they went back, they knew. Which again. Maybe we're not the easiest to have a conversation with. Isn't that what extra work Tony told you? Is PK
yeah, and as much as I love Tony, and you can rewind the show, you'll hear my love for Tony. Tony never has my back. Tony always had everybody else's back but myself. And then I stand by every single thing that I've done, right? Like, Ivan has been dead to me.
Right.
Now, if he picks up the phone and calls, we'll have a civil conversation. Maybe we'll be buds again. But I'm never going to call him because he's the one that did what he did. And I don't want to rehash all that stuff, right? And my question for Tony is like, when was the last time you talked to fucking Ivan? Never, right? Like,
yeah, I get that, but
I don't know.
I didn't know the conversation that you had like with Tony, like because obviously like Tony, Durai, and you guys have been like buds, like that whole group since what we say like the Playhouse days back in Portland, 2008,
dead,
all of that
dead.
So and again, with Durian, he's always going to be like a brother, family. Like if there's anything I could do, he knows that he can always reach out to me anyway. You're kind of crazy. But Durian, like he's still.
I'm always going to talk to Durian if he calls, but I'm not going to be the one to call him because I didn't do this.
Yeah.
He could have just not been a massive wuss and had the conversation or just told and again, I'm happy that he gave us as much time as he did.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have.
Yeah.
That's why if he had that conversation, I would have never been mad. And I might have moved just so we can keep doing the show. But he never gave us that opportunity. What he did was talk to his family and then still didn't talk to us, lined everything up to leave, still didn't talk to us, and then left us high and dry 2 weeks before he moved. Now, I don't know in what world that I shouldn't be mad at that, but
all we can say is, and it's not talking shit because like we would tell Duran too.
No, because I tell that to him.
But remember when we got let go in Portland, it was the day of his son's birth, and he still pretended to go into work for like a week or something till his wife was like, or not even wife at the time, till she was like, what's going on like with the show? Why is my family like telling me you guys aren't on the air? But he still kept going, so he definitely doesn't like confrontation or anything. I will admit, when it's just like, the three of us, sometimes if you and I are having like an argument, it's probably difficult to bring things up. I don't know those are questions that you have to ask him.
Hold on, I'm still blocking people here.
Oh my God.
PK. Next show, I'm going to make a few of you guys admins. I don't know if it's the same thing. I'll just hide them from the channel so they just talk to themselves. Okay. But I'll make a few of you all admins so that way, we're not.
Oh, I did have one more. Oh, wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you
these fucking idiots wasting their time just trying to, whatever.
Stop
You're the
talking.
loser. Still, you're still.
Why do you care?
Still in there.
Don't read the messages. I thought you said you were going to speak from the heart.
It sucks that your mom fucked up and forgot to take her birth control. Go ahead.
Oh, my God. Modesto wanted to know if you had anyone else for the town crier because he would be more than happy to fill it.
I do need somebody for a town crier. I told Duran, do you want to take the town crier? You can wear that for Halloween. It's to your specs. And he didn't take it. He did take the samurai sword, which I also had to call him to take. I'm like, dude, you left your samurai sword. And he was like, okay, yeah.
And the belt. Yeah. So
I was going to create a whole AI Durian with all his stories and everything. And again, this is nothing. I'm not saying anything here that I haven't said to him privately, right? I even told him, I was like, hey, man, I might make an AI Durian with all your stories and stuff. He was like, yeah. And I'm like, and the fact that between that conversation and when he actually got on the plane, he never hit me up once. That's really.
I think that's when like
that just spiraled me down further down into like not a world of hatred because I'm always gonna love the guy, but just a realization of realizing that it, it was more of a work thing than more of a brother, much less friend.
I mean,
the other way around. And again, friend, much less brother.
You guys have your own relationship, and then I have mine, and I sent like my own text or anything. I'm like, whatever you guys need. Like, I thought we were gonna do a dinner. So sorry, we've been real busy. And I was like, no, I understand that. I get it. Just would have been nice to hear, one more time see before.
No, it would have been nice just to have a civil,
it's not just like a work thing. It's not that I need.
Y'all getting me heated. I didn't even want to talk about this tonight.
What are you doing with your phone?
I think I saw
now?
Tony in the chat, so I was just gonna call him.
Oh my God, PK.
Well, I got to see if the phone still works. I haven't done this stuff in a while.
So it's only been 33 days, or it has been a long time. 33 days.
What's up, buddy?
Were you in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Hi, Tony.
How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Denise.
Hello.
Hello, PK.
What's up with this? All right. I thought we had a weird echo going on or something. You just said in the chat, you're like, I always have your back. Bitch, you never have my back. Never once. You always got Ivan's back, Ryan's back, fucking everybody else's back.
Do you not consider what I'm doing for you next week having your back?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
That's not what I'm talking about, though, and you know it.
We did talk about that earlier, so I don't know if you caught that part.
No, I think what you're... go ahead.
So you're talking like in an argument. You're saying anybody we've ever worked with, I never take your side in an argument. I always take somebody else's side. Or maybe I don't do that, but I at least defend them when they can't speak for themselves or aren't speaking for themselves.
They can. They're free. My phone is open.
Aren't speaking is correct. PK is very difficult to talk to.
I'm not.
Know this.
No,
yes,
you guys say that. Off air. Am I difficult?
You're right for 15 years.
Calm your ass down. Tony, we had a conversation, right? Off air. And I said, when I come in to train, it's going to be off air PK, not on air PK. And you started laughing and you said on air PK would immediately get booted or whatever. You know,
right? I'm
not difficult to talk to off air, and putting all these resources and time and everything, he should have off air had the honest conversation, which I would have agreed with.
And I guess what I would say is I have a different perspective, and I say this more in the aspect that I've considered you somebody who's been I've been good friends with on some level. We've been closer at times and further apart at times over the years, but. And maybe it was just because of my perspective in how I was always watching all of you, right? I was directing and editing the TV show. So I was there, but it was almost like watching an episode of Big Brother or something, to where I saw so many dynamics where I just got to watch. And especially on-air PK compared to off-air PK immediately after the show for the next few hours, that's still the same person. And I would almost describe you as dictator PK. Like it was PK's way, and this is how we're doing it. It wasn't necessary. We might plan things, we might talk about ideas, but it was PK saying what we were going to do. And I said this to you about the show, like of all the things in the last 3 years that you guys have done, how many times did you make an announcement on the show that was affecting the way things were changing? And Denise would have the look on her face like, we never fucking talked about this. Like wait, we're doing what now? Like it was the PK and DK show with Dorian, but I feel like PK had 3 votes and Denise and Dorian had 1 vote. So no matter what PK said, it wasn't a discussion. It was just, this is the new way.
Tony, in the spirit, if you just allow me just 1 second, in the spirit of this new rendition of the show, where I'm not going to keep things back and be as honest as possible, right? In that spirit, I would like to, counter that with a simple question: if PK was not putting this show together, what would the show sound like if it was just Denise and Dorian?
Oh, I'm not bringing up that point, but I'm saying when decisions were made, you guys didn't make team decisions. Tony, that's all I'm saying. So,
they did not study radio. They did not. They were not raised with the dream of doing a Doghouse, Opie and Anthony, Tommy and the Bull style show where they weren't in that world. So, and they had every opportunity to do anything they wanted to do. I'm talking like you're not here.
I know.
But exactly. Dorian had every opportunity to do anything that he wanted to do on the show, and he never did anything. So yeah, of course, like if I see an opportunity, I'm going to take it.
And I'm not faulting you for taking an opportunity. I just know the culture that I know your culture of radio for the past 20 years, and it was dictator-esque. It was, and I don't think you ever did anything because you didn't think it wasn't the best thing to do. That, like, I'm not saying that it didn't come from the right place, but I also don't think that you Oh gosh, have you guys watched on Netflix the Untold series on the Swamp Kings Florida Gators football program? It's Urban Meyer and the
No, I
culture.
wanted to see that though.
I
Is that
would
good?
love that. Yeah.
Obviously.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
It's like the whole Untold series is great.
Okay.
But and I guess what I want to compare it to is Urban Meyer's looked at as one of this amazing college coaches of all time in football, yada yada yada. But the culture that he cultivated and developed down there got so toxic, and it wasn't out of any other thing other than wanting to achieve greatness and becoming national champions and wanting to get the best out of everyone all the time and trying to be the leader. But sometimes the environment doesn't always breed that. And I'm not saying that you weren't good at all the things that you did. I'm just saying that the three of you, I don't feel like you guys ever made many joint decisions as far as a direction of the show. That's all. You've never been easy to talk to. So and like Denise said, Dorian is very.
Why is it that we have no problems talking to each other? We've never, like, every time you came in, we've done full shows about the state of the show. You have no problems talking to me. Why is it that they can't do the same?
I don't know. Maybe it's like the act of like disappointing you or something. Like, trust me, when I mean, I don't know exactly what went on with Ryan in the conversation with the family that he had to have, but before he brought it to you, it was definitely not easy. When I had the offer to go to this job fair that could potentially disrail the show because like I would now be working at least full time, if not more. You were sad. Like I had to sit you down and be like, PK, I need you to be happy for me. Like this is something that
I was happy.
You were happy, but you were now you're standing up. Like
yeah, you guys got me heated now.
I had to like, but those are the things. If they're not going your way, like now I'm not going to be with you all the time. Now I'm not like now I'm not. You know I'm clingy. I have to be with you 24/7. Like now that I'm doing like my own thing and not just like it's. You didn't even support me.
What world am I living in right now?
I'm just...
Y'all are bananas.
You're bananas. And all of us telling you. Like,
let me deal with these one things at a time. Let me go back to Tony real quick. I'll deal with you in a sec.
We all...
Tony.
Tony.
Tony's talking about I was a dictator. I would have had to be a dictator if people had the same amount of passion and wanting to... The arguments that we got into on the Playhouse, right? And I believe I even have audio because you recorded the off-air arguments. But the arguments that I would have is about people, you know, doing that extra step or going out of like whatever it is that they're getting paid for so we can be number one so everybody can keep getting paid because we had 8 people on the show. It wasn't
I agree.
The same thing with Dorian. Dorian would show up, right, and be brilliant when he would have like an argument with Yes that he could talk about or something, right? But outside of that, the final thought was just regurgitated TikTok videos.
That was still interesting.
But he never put time down outside of sitting in a toilet and just going through TikTok and being like, I can do this on the show. Am I wrong?
How do you know that?
Because every single thing I've seen on TikTok.
It's like I'm saying, I'm not this isn't an attack on you by saying it's a negative. I'm saying your greatness and your intentions and your leadership and your drive to make things better are all great things. I'm just saying that the environment that it was didn't invite it. And I would compare it to, have you ever heard the phrase learn your learner? Like as a coach or a teacher or something, that we don't all learn the same way. Like PK, you don't learn, like you need to actually do video editing on a computer to learn it. You can't read a book. You can't just have somebody talk to you. Maybe you need to go through the act of it. Like we all learn differently. We all communicate differently. I'm just saying that your demand of excellence and striving for perfection, it's super admirable, but it also doesn't create the best communication pipeline for people who aren't like-minded as you. And Dorian does not have that same drive. And that's not a bad thing or a knock on Dorian either. It's just you're different. And yes, what you did cultivate greatness out of other people's. I don't deny that. You just aren't someone that someone comes to talk to when
that's not my fault. I'm never, if somebody comes and has a real, like if Dorian came to me and was like, look, my son, all the stuff that we talked about, right? I wouldn't be like, oh, F that, we're going on the air or ending the show. Like on the air, 2 weeks from when he's moving, he drops that. That's the reaction you're going to get. But you should know that off air, if he came to me and had that, conversation, that would not be the reaction that he would get. And nobody has gotten that reaction when they came to have a heart-to-heart with me.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that. And yeah, more notice, I'm sure would have been great.
But in this arena, especially when we were on the radio, the argument could be made more so then than now, right? Because now there's a million podcasts, but even now, right? But back then especially, in order to be the number one show, you had to step up to the plate. Otherwise, there's like how many 50, 60 radio stations in the market or whatever. And by the way, Jammin', the only reason I went into Jammin' was because they were like in last place, right? Like I came in to like upset the balance and to really and we were number one for like fucking ever.
Right.
And then with your logic, that's the problem. Your logic is the problem. And again, I'm just thinking and talking about this out loud as we're going. But your logic is the problem because the same thing happened in Houston and in Atlanta, right? They were fine with this culture of, well, I don't want to be upset. I only work to work. Like, I'm not going to give that extra and ask those questions and make myself uncomfortable. And because of that, the people that were not talented enough to be, this is the NFL of like, when you're in Houston or Atlanta, market size, that's like the NFL of radio. You're not in like Belushi or I don't fucking know, Idaho or something, right? You're up against like some greats. So you got to bring it and you got to have the right people in place. Now,
I agree.
Going back to DeRyan, especially in Portland or Atlanta, like he was the right person. I was fighting the culture that you're talking about that didn't want to bring DeRyan in Atlanta.
Right. But
when we were here, it's only us three. Like everybody has to... I mean, we're talking about like it would be
do more. Everybody has to do everything. Everybody has to do more.
Yeah, like dude,
fewer people have to take on bigger roles.
Jessica would share stuff that DeRyan never shared, and like Denise would be like angry and pissed off and be like, "We did this video. It took all day. He didn't even share it. His wife shared it. He didn't even share it." That to me, it's like, come on, bro. That's the stuff that I get mad at. Like, how do you not? How am I not supposed to be mad at stuff like that?
Like I mean this as a compliment. It takes a certain level of crazy to achieve excellence, and I mean this as a compliment. Like Steve Jobs, he was a little bit crazy, right? People who are the best in the world at what they do are a little bit crazy, and that's great when you embrace it and you do those sorts of things. But it's not an expectation you could put on everybody around you. Like you're talking about a small percentage of the people, PK. I don't know a lot of people, and I mean this because I wish I was like this. I don't know that I know another person like you, PK, because people like you achieve great things and have this level of expectation for being perfect and huge things and going above and beyond. And your ceiling is a lot higher than lots of other people for your point of saying, I'm the problem, or my statements are the problems with different markets or companies that prevent them from achieving excellence. I agree with you. Your ceiling is a lot. Like I would say that your ceiling is higher than mine by a lot. Because my mind doesn't go that way. I can't think that way. I'm not that way. That's not how I'm driven. And you're a 1%er of people in the way you think. And I think it's hard for you to see that not everybody is like that. Or when you have your people around you, it's hard for you to not understand like, hey, we could do this. Why aren't you doing this all the time just like me? Yes. And you won't ask anybody that you're not willing to do yourself, which is a great leadership ability, but not everybody is going to be willing to put in everything that you put into it.
And Tony, I think that is very well said. Now, if I can finally say something, PK, yes. I think that that is the reason why, again, we started PK and DK back in 2012. Not, anytime sooner than that is when you and I both decided that this is what we're going to do. Like, we love doing radio together. We love doing this podcast, even if it was once a week, right? And so it was because it was both of us, both our names. Like, we were driven. We're going to make it happen no matter what. Like, nobody could tell us no. That's what happened in Atlanta. Like, we were the ones that decided to spend the time. Like, we were there till 5 o'clock. We left and then continued or went back to the station. Like, that was us because like it was ours. Like, and I think that you expect people to also want that. But what you don't realize is that they want to be a part of something, but they also, their bigger part could be their family, their children, and all that. And we just have, I mean, I'm not just saying just have dogs, but like we don't have kids at this point in our life where we have to like sit down, do homework, go to school, go to this, do football games, whatever. Like it's just like us. Like this is just our passion, the two of us. And it couldn't have been easy for like a third person trying to come in with all the expectations, but still showed up every single day. You know,
I'm not mad at any of that.
I know. I'm just trying to explain my reason why.
I'm not annoyed at any of that. What I'm annoyed at, which I said, and I'll keep saying apparently, is that the dude couldn't have an honest conversation with me up until like, you know, the final show 2 weeks before moving day. Yeah. He should have.
I think.
Come on. In what world is that me being an over-demanding boss or any of this shit?
I mean, I just wish your sentence would be reversed. I wish you would say, this guy gave us everything for 3 years, moved across the country twice for us.
I've said that.
But you don't say it. That's not the first thing. You don't give
because
him
I'm not mad at
for,
that. Of course, I'm not mad at that. Like, I'm mad at how he handled it. And you know what? What's remembered is how you end something, not how you start it. And I hate it when my dad's correct. This is the second time on the show.
That's your perspective. Like, that's your perspective. Like, I would say Duran gave a lot for 3 years and his family sacrificed. And
then he fucked you
due to whatever reason, he did it the way it is. But I don't.
Not whatever reason. Not whatever reason.
Because you're scared, PK.
No.
All right. Well,
no. Let's just be honest.
Let's be honest. Of everything.
He didn't have the balls to sit me down and to have an honest conversation. And I feel like all three of us were in this. Right? This was not PK. This was all three of us. The only reason it took me so long to put him on the thing, on the titles, because I knew eventually he was going to screw us. I knew eventually it would happen, and it did.
Oh. I wouldn't say screw us. Like, that has been like...
By him not telling him it was.
I know, I get that, and maybe later we'll figure out why, but I'm
always going to love the guy.
I know, I just don't want to keep griping on it over and over again. Like, what happened sucks, yes, but what we built for 3 years on our own terms is incredible. What we built in Atlanta for another 2 years was insane and amazing. So that's a lot of deep AI stuff to remove them from like 1,000 photos that now I got to do. And I got to give some love to like to our friends like Chantel, who said, PK, what he has is abandonment issues, because that is true.
You didn't say that. I said that.
No, and she sat you down, and it's not anything that is bad or wrong, but it is.
Oh you people are crazy.
It's not just your birth mom in Greece. It's not your stepmom in
everybody
Florida.
keeps leaving me without even fucking having a sit down and telling me.
Because it's you. And like Taylor Swift says, hi, it's me.
Hi, it's me. I'm moving back to Oregon because I have a son that's 13 and a big fucking family, right? And I would have been like, it makes sense. You gave us more time than I could have ever asked for. I'm sorry for letting you down. Let me see if it's feasible for me and Denise to move back so we can keep doing the show. But instead, this motherfucker kept it quiet for I don't know how long. Only he hasn't even told me how long. But this bitch kept it quiet for like 2 months and dropped it on the air 2 weeks before he left, leaving us with all this shit, including the town crier, which now apparently I have to send to Atlanta so Leah can do.
Wait, what?
I saw a message in there.
Holy shit, PK. Okay, if you are joining us 67 minutes late.
Elia's telling me to take a breath. I can't. Every time I take a breath,
oh my God,
stupid people talk.
What the hell? Tony and I are stupid all of a sudden. Jesus. Tony, I cannot wait. Okay.
I love you, buddy. You know.
Tony does. But
Tony, you're the last person. You and Elia.
Do I need to have a chime? No, a bell?
I've got more friends. You, Elia, and Jeff.
Elia, Jeff, Tony. God.
That's it. Who's gonna let me down next?
Oh my God. Did No Chill ever reach out to you?
Yeah, he did. He keeps sending me lightning videos, but then after Dorian left, then I realized that like
abandonment. Did Dan abandon you too?
No, the thing was the chemistry. It's so incredibly difficult. That chemistry took 20 years in the making, right? And
lightning in a bottle you had.
Yeah, exactly. And then when he leaves, it's like, I progressively got more and more angry. But at the same time, I know, and I promised myself I'll never be angry at him. So now I'm so confused, because like I don't want to be mad at him. But it's like also like, Jesus Christ, I wish you would have had the balls. Like I know that's in your MO not to have your balls. But it's the same thing with Ivan. With Ivan, my problem wasn't when like he did or whatever. It's that he just didn't have a fucking like conversation with me. He didn't call me up. Remember, the last thing that he did was he came to Atlanta and went on like radio silent on Facebook and everywhere.
Yeah,
because he didn't want to upset Sarah Pepper by hanging out with PK. Like, how do you defend that? Call me and be like, yo, I work with a crazy bitch. I can't see you. And I would have been like, dude, I completely understand. Completely understand. Say no more. After everything we've been through. The same thing with Ryan. After everything we've been through, sit me down, just have a normal conversation outside the show where I'm actually a nice guy.
You don't invite that. Like you just don't. And it's crazy that that's your perspective. Like that's 20 years of friendship where him not talking to you when you wish he would have trumps everything. Almost like he cheated on you and left you for another man or something like that.
Tony, with your logic.
I'm like, what's up? Like, what about the 20 years before that? Like,
okay, with your logic, if you cheat on your wife, right, and you go to her with, what about the 20 years before that? What is he going to say?
But
it's the last action that you did, especially when that last action is like catastrophic.
But he didn't cheat on you, and you as a friend, I would think would appreciate that at the end of the day, he had to make a decision what was best for his family.
Yes.
And he gave you 3 years. And
going back to what you're saying, when you're boys for 20 years, you owe that boy the courtesy of the phone call, even if it's an uncomfortable phone call. You actually don't owe that phone call to a new friend because you don't have the time with them. So exactly what you're saying is what I agree with. Because of the history, because of everything that somebody did, sit them down and just have a civil conversation.
Okay, I'm curious, PK, because this is going to go on for a long time, and I don't want you to have the same feelings that you have for
I will never have I promise myself I will never be mad at Ryan.
I know that, but so many times, and I've had these conversations with friends recently about things that they're wondering, why don't you just make that phone call or say, hey, send a text, hey, we need to have a conversation, can I call you?
Because I'm tired of being the only one that does that.
But I get that. But that's going to clear, that'll clear the air. That'll answer all your questions, and then you can move forward.
Okay.
Right?
That's a great question. And the reason of that being is something that I've said to you. We went through this with Ivan, right? And I think we might have went with this through Ryan, which I guess they're a little more similar than I thought. But you know how you would always invite him to go out?
Yeah.
And
I used to have a few friends like that.
Never,
right.
They never reciprocate the phone call back.
Right.
It was always you reaching out.
Yeah.
And I think that's why. It's because they showed the true colors of they're not really your friends because your friends go out of their way.
I know, but you're
to look out for you.
You're the one that's still curious, and if you have all of these
I'm
questions,
not curious at all.
Then
I'm not curious. I'm always gonna love them.
You don't think that would be a good idea for even if it's a 5-minute conversation?
No. I don't.
Do you is there any part of you?
See, that's not me.
Is there
at
any
all.
part of you, PK? Is there any part of you, PK, that blames yourself for the show not being
100%.
able to financially support itself?
100%. I don't put any of that blame on him. The only thing that I'm annoyed about is how he handled the exit.
Right.
It's
then talk to him about it. Call him. Be the bigger person.
Why?
Be the bigger
Why do I always have to be the
say,
bigger person?
Because you're the one that's here. I think you need.
You guys have said this is the ongoing theme with everybody.
That is the same. When you went and saw your mom in Greece a year ago.
How'd that work out?
Well, that is up to you. You said that after that you still continued conversations with her. That is the conversation that you have with your stepmom, the conversation that you have with your dad, that you're still having with your dad, that you guys have actually had a better relationship because you had that call, you made the conversation, you saw him in person that last time you only went with him.
If you're the one always having to reach out, maybe it's the other people that, should be just X'd out of your life, right? I appreciate nothing brings me more joy.
I know.
If I'm being honest, and this happened with Denise in the car. We're driving around the coast of Oregon this few months ago, and Tony, you called, and after you got off the phone,
right?
We were talking about holy shit, Tony cares.
Tony called us, yeah.
Tony called us, right? If they never call, they obviously don't care. Their actions are showing me that. Why do I always have to be the person to reach out?
That's a great question.
Because you're the one pissed off about it, dude. That's why you call them. Jesus Christ.
Who the hell is
Isn't this show supposed to be come laugh with us or something? Ha ha. Where's anybody laughing? All this is a bitch and complain show. Jesus Christ. Get a hang of yourself, bro. Just whine some more and complain. Christ, who even wants to listen to this trash? Just wah, 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 wah. Somebody hurt my feelings. Fucking shit, dude. Get a hang of it.
Dude, I don't have a fucking problem. I'm just being honest that you guys bring
really?
me to this point.
You're the one that doesn't have the problem. You're the one complaining nonstop. And then as soon as somebody says something, you interrupt them and then yell about some more nonsense and say, I don't care, but here's all the reasons why I would care if I cared. Rah, 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 rah.
How did this happen?
You're a fucking crazy person, bro. If it's that hurtful to you, then call his ass up or stop talking about it and give people an interesting
I've been
show.
trying to move
Nobody
forward.
gives a shit otherwise.
I'm trying to move forward, and I beg to differ.
You haven't moved forward. This show's 2 hours so far of you complaining about the same thing and being like, I'm not going to get into it, and then just nonstop getting into it.
Did you guys keep bringing it up? All right, I'm done.
Nobody's
I'm done
bringing
with
it up. You're bringing it up.
I'm done with it.
Bring it up.
I'm done with that.
Hey, Ilya, are you going to join PK on his
No, he's not. He's not fucking invited. You're not invited.
Eclipse trip? Okay.
Not invited. He's making fun of my solar eclipse trip.
Let's talk about that now. So have we concluded all of the questions from the chat?
I suppose. Anything else you'd like to say, Ilya? Anything else? Why? How the fuck did you even get on? Did you call Tony? Did Tony call you?
Don't worry about it.
You bitches.
I love you guys.
Fucking chat.
Okay.
Also, Tony was right about Tony was like 100% right on everything, and you totally took the situation and like the conversation. You took it off their tracks and went in a completely different way.
Go ahead, tell
and
me.
then rambled on for another 30 minutes. And as soon as Tony would start talking,
what was you right about?
Doing now,
what was you right
just
about?
Start yelling. That's every time Tony's like making a point, you just start screaming out.
You're not telling me what he was right about. You're just like babbling.
Because I'm trying to tell you, but you won't. You can't take criticism
the floor is
at
yours.
all.
Go
you
ahead.
just have to interrupt and scream. That's what you do.
Oh, go ahead.
Which is also Tony's exact point on probably why Dorian didn't feel comfortable talking to you, because you start screaming at him.
Motherfucker, I never scream at Dorian when we're not doing the actual show. Okay? Ever. When we're doing the show,
we all love Dorian.
We're actually doing a show. When we're actually like, hey, it's insane that you guys think.
PK.
I don't think that. I think every time you guys have ever hung out, you guys are very good friends, close friends. You've never been an asshole to him that I've seen, and vice versa. I'm not saying that. But anytime there's a contentious, like you guys aren't talking about like Dorian leaving the show off air. That's why he did it on air probably. And also why he, the reason I'm guessing he kept it to himself is because he keeps everything to himself because he hates conflict. That's his whole thing is he avoids conflict at all costs, which is why he waited till the very last minute to be like, oh, this is what happened, I'm out, which I think is a shithead thing to do. I agree with you on that, but that's why he did it. Because that's just Dorian.
That's my whole point. That's it.
But you don't have to be angry for the rest of your life.
I'm not.
Say, I love this guy and I'll never be mad at him, but
I'm not. I just said
I'm not able to get over this.
It was a shit thing to do. That's exactly, how many times did I say that? I'm never going to be mad at Dorian. It was a shit thing to do.
But
why am I the one to call him up?
Because you're the only one that cares, dude. Dorian's smoking pot, having the time of his life. He doesn't give a rat's ass.
It's probably butt
and you're over
right
here
now. A chief butt
sweating it out, getting all angry and stewing about it. So if it's still bothering you, then call him. Otherwise, move on.
Thank you, Ilya.
And Ilya, I choose to move on.
Okay.
But by choosing to move on, everybody's going to come at me just like you're doing right now.
No,
who is everybody? The only reason I'm coming after you is because you won't stop talking about it. Nobody gives a fuck except you.
All right, let's talk about something else. But I'm not.
Let's do it.
Not reaching out.
Well,
I'm not gonna do it.
Vicky Harm says you guys forgot to thank me for my first donation. So shout out Vicky.
Hey,
Yay,
Vicky.
Thank you.
Fucking Ilya, man, just from the clouds, just came at me like a hammer. Christ.
Yeah. I can relate on the criticism. One of to get like super personal. One of the most difficult things I was ever told by my wife. She was. Because I travel often for work. For people that don't know, I travel all the time for work, right? Like, I'm gone all the time. I'm not gone all the time, but it feels like I'm gone all the time to my partner at home.
Slaying
and
bitches.
And she says, when I'm gone, she feels like a single mom.
Ooh.
And to me, initially, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I bust my ass to do everything that I can. But perspective matters on all of that, and me putting myself in her shoes, yeah, when your husband isn't there 3, 4, 5, 6 nights a week or 200 nights a year, I can understand how when it's just you working 40 hours a week, doing everything with the kids in the house, that's sort of what being a single mom is. And until I could actually hear that from her perspective, it was an insult to me. Now, it's still not fun to hear, but I can at least I can see it from her perspective. And I think sometimes, Fika, you have a hard time seeing it from the opposite side of the table. Everything said to you is an insult. Or if I say it's hard to talk to, you're like, prove it, bitch. Why am I fucking hard to talk to? And
yes, bingo.
It's the defenses go up, the guard goes up. And is it abandonment issues? I don't know. Go talk to a counselor. Like
yes.
you would benefit so much
thing.
by talking about that. Everybody should speak to a counselor. Like there's so many great things that can happen to it. And it's a life skill that is really hard to learn, especially later in life if you weren't raised in any of that culture. But it's one of the most productive things that you can do is to be able to take criticism, see something from the opposite side of the table, and not take offense or not have the guards up so quickly.
I don't have the guards
up. And like when you and I talked,
yes, PK, take a
when
breath.
you and I talked last time, I think that you took a minute to process things, and I was surprised because I felt like I'd never seen that side of you, to where you're like, okay, I'm hard to talk to. Talk to me about this and lay it out. But you don't typically do that. I don't know that I'd ever seen you do that before, but I was super impressed by your ability to do that.
No, because I wanted you to lay it out because I am fine. There's been plenty of times in friendships and throughout life where I've been wrong on stuff that people have showed me or that I've come to understand, right? There's plenty of times, right? And I try to own those things. But like the examples, again, I'm talking about it, and even Ilya's like, go talk about the movies. The examples that you guys are giving me, right, between Dorian and Ivan are like so one-sided. Like we built this for 2 years and 9 months, and I put every single ounce of time and money that I had into it. Are you mean to tell me?
We know already. We know. You don't have to repeat it again. We know.
Then that should be reason enough for somebody to have a sit down with you outside of the show and to tell you.
Bro, I 100% agree with you, but you cannot tell me with a straight face that Dorian just didn't act like Dorian acts. Like, that should not have been a surprise that he did what he did, because that is who he is. He wasn't a dick about it. Like, in his mind, he wasn't trying to be malicious. He was just living as Dorian lives, that puts off everything until somebody does it for him, or he fumbles into it, or whoopsie daisy, how did I get here? But that's the lovable characteristic about him. You know, so like the fact that he didn't talk to you, he was never, ever going to talk to you. Even 50 years from now, if you guys had an amazing show and were bazillionaires and broadcast all over the universe, he still would do the exact same thing, because that's just Dorian. He doesn't like confrontation. He doesn't like to fight. He's never going to do that. So like, I think like in my world, would I have expected somebody to talk to me about it? 100%. But you can't be surprised that he didn't, because that's exactly who Dorian is.
And that's all you wanted, was for him to be him. So you can't be mad at him for being himself. That's what we're saying.
Are you okay, PK, with this? I feel like
you're not wrong. There's nothing that you said that I can disagree with. There's nothing that you said that I can disagree with.
Yeah.
But I'm also tired of being the one that's always like, oh, you're the one that should reach out. You're the one that should still apologize, because
I think it's not just because it's Dorian or it's Ivan or it's any of these other people.
Dismiss the hatefulness of what happened because of the other stuff, because you're the one that's difficult to talk to.
No.
Well, sometimes you got to fucking do difficult things in life. I'm sorry, but if somebody put everything into something, you owe them a conversation. You don't owe, you're dodging the fact of what he did being just like a complete shit bomb, and you're just like, you knew he was going to be a dick to you. You knew that guy was going to rape your wife. PK, you knew that guy was going to rob a bank.
You
knew that guy.
Because
crazy. You guys are saying that, like, because you know what he's up to do, that I should just accept what he does. Like,
I mean, you don't have a choice but to accept it. I mean, you didn't have a choice
I have a choice to say that this is the guy that I thought that I treated and thought of as family that did not treat me the same.
What was the 3 years of putting everything into the show that he did?
Again,
is that not worth anything?
You're making excuses for the shit action that he did.
PK, bro, you need some help. You're just angry at the world.
Thank God I got that new insurance coming up November 13th. Then give me a month, December 13th.
Yeah, bro, take a breath.
Or if anybody has donations, we'll go ahead and put those towards the PK therapy fund, which I'm not joking about. Therapy definitely helps a lot of people, and this might. I'm just saying, PK, we all have we have all love for you. You're not fine.
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
You both.
You're not fine. They're all quiet, and I'm like, what
good.
the hell? I have to deal. No, I'm not having to deal with any of this. You're not, because it's not just, it's not. And thank you. Like we have Jeff who's in the chat. We have Elia. We have Tony, like always, that are like checking in on PK. But then we have like other friends that I thought were a lot closer to PK that have not reciprocated that, like, hey, when someone is struggling or reaching out for help, just not like responding or messaging or,
again, those are shit people, and then you see their true colors.
And I want you to be able to know that is okay to close off those relationships. And I know that it's hard for me because I'm saying shut off those relationships with those people because nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about. But like when it comes to Dorian, I personally tell you, as your wife, your partner, your spouse, the one who's lived with Dorian since he like came to Atlanta for a little while, that was here every single day, like just have the call or even
I'm willing to do that, but he's got a call.
Okay. All right.
And if he doesn't call,
so
which
petty,
I know,
bro, so petty.
I just would be the bigger person in this situation and
why?
leave the ball in their court.
Why would do it? But he's gonna call me.
Yeah, you sound like a chick. No offense, I am one, but yeah, that's what chicks
please
do.
defend that, Elliot. Tell me why I'm the one that should call. So what if I don't call? Aren't I just as guilty as he?
I'll tell you, because you're the only one that cares out of the two of you. He doesn't care. I mean, he cares. He cares that he left.
Bingo.
And he loves you guys. I'm not saying he doesn't care about that. But right now, Dorian is living he's probably watching the show actually, but Dorian is living a great life right now, enjoying his family. And he's like, man, I made the right decision because he did. Okay. So he doesn't owe you a chat. He doesn't owe anything. Now, would it be nice? Of course. But he's not over there struggling every night, being grumpy and fucking raging on the show. You are. So if you need that closure, then you should call him and be like, hey man, that was kind of fucked up. You want to talk about it? And if he doesn't, then great. But like, he doesn't need to call you. He's living just fine.
Yeah. And he will continue to live just fine. And I need it for you as your wife. I need you to figure it out.
That's what everybody I feel like is missing in all of this stuff. Right? When I have the means and other people aren't fine, I do everything I can to help them in any kind of way, whether that's bringing him into a show, moving him out of whatever their situation is. Like, I never look at money. I never want a payback. I just do. You're right. On the show, I'm very, very matter of fact, harsh. And that's the years of like listening to radio. And this is just whatever. But like, that's the thing. When other people, I do everything I can to help them. Elia, that's one of your qualities and why I consider you one of my really, really good friends, is because like if I need help with something, you'll drop it, you'll inconvenience yourself, and you'll come over and you'll help or do whatever you need to do. Right?
Right. Back at you.
My problem with some of these people that we're talking about right now is that they don't. And I am in the shit situation, and I don't blame them for it. We'll just check in. But yeah, I'm the one that's wrong for not checking in with them, even though their life is now going good.
Bro, no one is saying that you're wrong about anything. No one has said that you're wrong. You're saying that who's in the wrong, who needs to call who, like who's in the wrong of nobody's wrong about anything.
But you're the one that wants to check in, so why don't you check in?
The end. That's it.
It sounds like you want this. Mm-hmm. So if you want it, just make the call.
Just do it. Just do it.
You were describing like people's like characteristics, like character traits of people. Like some people don't call people, some people do this, some people are funny, some people are, jerks, some people can lift a lot of weights, some people are whatever, so wear Crocs, etc. So like Dorian's not gonna do that. He was also very aloof in general. He's also goofy and like lighthearted all the time. He like flakes on responsibilities in like a loving way. I'm not talking shit about Dorian, but like he's not going to do that because that's just not who he is. And you can't expect him to be like you are because you would have done that because he's not you.
And I think that's the problem. And that's what hurts, is the fact that I knew when this day came, unless I reached out, I'd never hear from the guy again. And that's very, that just sucks. So am I mad at him?
Suck.
I'm not mad at him. It just sucks. And I'm tired of being the guy that always reaches out. That's it.
You could also have ahead of time, like, did you have any ground rules of like, hey, in 12 months' time, we're going to sit down and go over numbers and figure out what is and isn't possible. And Dorian, this is your moment to say, hey, if this doesn't happen in the next 12 months, I'm going to have to make a decision, and then we'll have that conversation. But it's almost like we just are going to we're going to pretend not to talk about anything. So I just expect you, Dorian, to tell me when you got to pull the plug. Or you said, hey, Dorian, by the time this happens, Dorian, if you're ever in a spot where you have to make a decision, please just come talk to us off the air and say, look,
No, we
this happened.
We definitely had those conversations. I think like earlier on in this year, like when we all had to like re-sign leases and we're like, hey, like I knew, I was like, and I even told, I was like, Dorian, it's fine. Like if you guys have to go back home, like I completely understand. Like, and that was like the three of us sitting down. Like those, of course, were hard conversations because nobody likes to talk about quitting or ending or moving on. But we had those earlier this year. And I think like the last few months, we certainly tried, we applied and we had conversations with other radio stations. And like we even talked about on the show, like Dorian, if we had the opportunity to go to like Chicago, like we maybe not on the air, we didn't talk about it, but like, and then he's like, well, I don't want to go back into radio. And so we're like, okay, well, at this point, like if this podcast can't grow independently, but the three of us had an opportunity to get back into radio, would you want to be involved? And when the conversation ended with him saying no, it's kind of just, I don't know, maybe at that point we should have all had the adult conversation of where do we see this lie in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months.
I don't have an ounce.
I know you do. Like we all came in here being like, this is going to be successful no matter what. And we're going to kick ass and we're going to do it.
I don't have by the way, there's not an ounce of me that's annoyed at Dorian for going back. Just to be clear. I don't think he should have gave us as much time as he did. Yeah. Right, especially like the second year was a bonus, like, and then another 9 months.
Agreed.
I was shocked in March.
Full responsibility for things not working. That's not my issue. My issue is we're close enough, and somebody that I consider family needs to sit down and have the conversation, and at least give me the chance to figure out some kind of impossible way to continue this. I asked him, I was like, look, if I move back, would you want to continue doing this? Because then. And he was like, yeah, 100%. And I'm like, why didn't you? You should have given me that chance.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I agree.
Well, then, fuck both of you motherfuckers on the phone.
Damn,
Tony and Leah. One for each, bitches.
All right. Maybe okay.
I'm just kidding. I love you both, and I appreciate you guys giving me the hard time because I need people like you in my life.
Yep. All right. So that's if y'all do any more shows, this will be all the negativity all into one show. Yeah. No more negativity. No more grumpiness.
We're moving
Jesus
forward.
Christ, man. It's almost on the verge of cringe. I almost turned the show off 5 minutes into it because PK started so hot, just complaining immediately.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
That would have been beneficial for me if you turn it off.
Okay. All right.
Oh, would it have been?
No, it was good. I appreciate it.
I'll help you out, bitch.
I appreciate it. Go fuck yourself. I love you.
Okay, goodbye, guys. Thank you.
Hey, Tony, too? Tony, I need that job.
I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Hey, and Tony,
what a bitch move, Tony. I know it was you.
I would love to hear if you and PK have a hotel, not rendezvous, that's the wrong word, podcast, the two of you, next week.
Yeah, but then we can't talk about deriving, so.
Well, that's
the rule.
No, we're moving past.
That's the rule.
Yeah.
Hey,
bigger and better things are coming up.
I do appreciate you for being there for me, and I really do appreciate this. Very excited about this.
So when I don't have your back, it had nothing to do with the offer or what I'm trying to help.
No, I just know you'll always be against me, no matter what. Like I could fucking save humanity or whatever, and you'd be like, oh, you're you'll find a way.
You didn't save the whales at the same time. Yeah. Yep. Hey. You're welcome.
I love you, buddy. Can't wait.
Yeah, Tuesday, you guys will be reunited.
Hey, are you gonna see the eclipse?
No.
Okay.
Christ, what is it with everybody?
It's
Every
okay.
single person.
Well, we've had enough of Tony's time. Let's
Okay.
hang up with
All right,
Tony
buddy.
because I also have to be up at 4:30. So.
Oh, I'm a hardworking woman.
What the fuck does that mean?
I'm just kidding.
Do you want to say goodbye to
All right, Tony. Love you, buddy.
Bye.
Bye. Does the bye thing even work anymore?
It works.
I don't know if it works anymore.
It works.
Yeah. All right. Are we done with all that?
Yes.
Okay. Let's move forward.
Move forward. So we got a lot to talk about in the next 2 days. That is the whole. Now we got to wrap it up. All right.
Yeah.
So PK is doing a solar eclipse.
Solar eclipse. Say that 3 times fast.
Solar
Get on my
eclipse
level. They didn't think I was going to do it. I don't understand why I get ridiculed for this. She's going to a wedding.
We talked about this months ago. I got an invitation to a wedding, and I said, yes, PK and I will join. And then PK, a month later, was like, wait, that's the same date as this. And I said, okay, well, I've already committed. I'm going to the wedding. Not only that, I work in the morning, and then I have a birthday party for a 1-year-old after that, and then a wedding. So I'm very busy. And prior to that, the day before, don't forget about Taylor Swift and the Eras movie that I'm going to.
Yeah, she got me tickets to go to the, Look, I said it a long time ago. I love, when it comes to, celestial events, there's nothing that gets my blood going
of course
like
not.
that. There's no way that I'm going to miss.
I know. Before the show started, we got a giant box, and the UPS delivery driver, he's like, actually, I need an adult signature to sign off on it. I'm like, oh, my God, did someone, deliver us wine? That's kind of exciting. He's like, that's usually happens. And then I look at it. It's from, lens.com. I'm like, what? PK, did you order? He's like, yeah, I rented lenses. I'm like, this is not even wine. Oh, no.
So I got a rental car. This is, I got a rental car. I'm going to drive 5, 6, 7 hours, and I'm going to try to make it back for the wedding. We'll see. The wedding ends at 10.
The wedding starts at 5, ends at 10.
The wedding, you can't end a wedding at 10. Weddings don't end until midnight, right? 1 o'clock in the morning.
The after party's next door.
What does Luda say? Don't stop till 8 in the morning.
Oh, by the way, Luda, coming in.
This one ends at 10.
January. Yep.
So I'm getting a car, and I'm getting in this car by myself, and then I'm driving. I have a few places I want to watch this eclipse. You have to, if you can make a short drive to see this eclipse where it's 100% totality, you should do that. Because outside of that zone, it's not as impressive. I don't care if it's 98, 99. It's not really as impressive. So I know there's another one coming up next year, but there's
April
0 chance I'm missing these two. There's just 0 chance. To me, this just reminds me of how lucky I am to be alive. The lotto that it took for the universe to exist and the planets. This puts everything into perspective. I'm not missing it. I'm sorry. So I rented a car, and I'm getting in the car on Friday. Solo. I'm driving to totality. I'm going to try to find a farmland or something with one single tree to set up to take a nice little picture. I'm going to have to knock on the door, ask them to get on the property, find a hotel for that night, get up in the morning. There's a lot that's going to go into this, and then have to zip around and try to make this wedding that ends at 10 p.m.
Oh, my God.
Ridiculous, right?
It's not ridiculous.
Is this wedding even open bar?
Yes, it is. And the wedding invitation was out way before you told me about the date of this eclipse. Otherwise, of course, I'd be all in your partner. And then I actually try to get off work. And they're
no.
And then you're like, no, I
know you have zero interest in driving 8 hours.
I would for you. However, I have 4 different things going on. So April 8th, as I said, oh my God, what are we?
Stroh's won.
Okay. That means next round. Okay.
By the way, on Sunday, when Falcons were playing the Texans, please believe I got both jerseys. Your boy's going back and forth. A little back and forth action.
All right.
Flipping the jerseys.
So, again, we got solar
I'm doing
eclipse.
that, yeah.
And then, I guess, wait and see. Follow us on our Instagram at PK and DK for different stories.
I might do a solo podcast as I'm driving out for 8 hours.
Should.
Just complaining about Duran.
You should.
I don't know. It might happen.
Maybe Dorian will actually fly in and hang out with you.
That's what sucks. Is Dorian would have been excited. We would have gotten in the car. We would have went out there and took pictures all night.
Yeah.
He decided to leave. All right. No, we're talking about that. What else was on your notes? Did you have, let me look at the
that's honestly
recap.
All of my notes.
There was a shit ton of things, though, that I wanted to...
I mean, we definitely have a lot of other things to cover, but this show has already gone longer than it's supposed to. And again, I got to wake up at 4:30.
Okay. Well, we'll call this the Getting Over It show. And then from here on out, chins up,
Chins Up.
Tits Up. What did that say on your show?
Oh my God.
Love that show. That was a great show.
The Marvelous Mrs.
Miss Maisel. That's a great show.
You cannot say Tits Up. I can say it.
Tits Up. I still have them.
No, they're getting
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I'm getting there. A big thanks to y'all for joining us for sure. We'll be, I don't know about next week. I might have to do something with Tony. We'll see.
Ooh, your guys' rendezvous in the hotel room.
But if you do have a PK and DK Plus subscription, I think we're gonna record something and drop it on that for people subscribing to us, and then we'll try to bring some kind of normalcy back to the show. And I want to rearrange this whole room.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to the way it was. I told PK that I loved like the news. I don't know what it's called, but like the newscaster thing. Like when we first started the show, we
were
had
like next to each other.
I loved that feeling, and then we had like a Kiki cam. I would say a Teddy cam, but he gets scared.
I want you all to look at all the shit that PK has to somehow move around. She's like, I like sitting this way. I'm like, do you know how difficult it is to sit that way? We got wires, we got tables, we got cameras, we got lights.
I still have a job, and I have a full-time gig starting in November. So until then, PK, until you get something, you can move this shit around.
I might, Larissa, steal that from you. I might have to
PK vent section.
Rename the show to the PK vent or vent session. Or if you have any good ideas for this quit your bitching show, maybe that's it.
I think you just need to take a breath.
Yeah, I'm good now. I'm good.
That's how we got.
There was something I wanted to go off at Ely about too, but now I forgot.
Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, I don't really have an outro because
Jeffrey's saying, "Am I being ignored?"
No, Jeffrey. What's Jeffrey saying?
Jeff, can the tits get blocked?
Oh, Jeffrey up. What does he say?
I think that Jeff should come and be a part of your solo solar eclipse journey. I think I actually mentioned that last weekend.
I think he is coming.
Wait, here?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Not next week.
Hello.
You're never ignored. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, man. I was being told by multiple people that my shit was getting. Oh God damn it.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
You're too.
But I didn't even say anything inappropriate.
Were you doing it in caps?
That's why.
Is it caps?
Yeah.
Is that why?
Yes.
That's why. So I put tits in lowercase.
I don't know then why. The YouTube thing just blocks random people. And it always blocks the wrong people.
Okay, so I'm curious.
Well, people were trying to help me out, so I would like to just take a second and thank everyone in the chat room who was trying to help me out. And fuck you, Tony, and fuck you, Ilya.
Oh my God.
Damn, boy.
And that's it.
Yeah, son.
And that's it. I love you
right to
guys.
the point.
Goodbye.
Bye.
You guys are nuts.
Oh, I needed that. That's how you end the show right there. That's it. All right, we'll be back next week, I think on Wednesday or...
On Wednesday, I'll be with you and Tony. Good luck after that conversation.
They know. I'm just kidding around.
I know. We love you guys. All love to everybody.
I don't fucking have an out song or anything.
PK's podcast show. You don't even have that? What we used to play? What we used to play for the outro for our Wine Wednesdays?
I have the graphic. I just don't have a song. It's all right. We're gonna drop some stuff for PK and DK Plus, and then we'll do something hopefully next week. And
I would cheers to PK, but he drank out of the bottle, so that's all I got.
I need it after that. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. I think that again, as I mentioned on the top of the show, the world is insane right now. We really do need to support each other and love. Okay. That's how we end the show. Love you guys. Peace out.